All right. Good morning, I should say, sighted friends. Midi Man coming at you again from Walker's Music with yet another word. Well, it's done became time to do another update on the walk through the word of the Bible, yearly reading through the Bible. I told y'all that once I got through the first, second Chronicles, second Samuel, first, second King, that I would go on and do another update from Genesis up to where I am now. But first of all, we want to stop here to give God all the honor, praise, and glory, and give Him all the honor for life, health, and strength. And we thank Him for each and every one of you. And also, as some of you saw, I think some of you already done posted on my Facebook post earlier about a friend, dear friend of mine, and also a former group member, Virginia Coley. She passed away on yesterday on her birthday, and it was her birthday, and we just wanted to say that we want to send out condolences to her family, her daughter Jackie, also her brother Kent. Me and him go way back to high school, and we just saying that there's no words right now that can be said. Only thing we can say is that we are here for y'all. If you need us, call on us, whatever you have to do, and we'll be there for you. And we are praying with you and for you. That's about the best thing to be said right now. In other words, y'all have to deal with it according to how the Lord will carry you through. And we just saying that Sister Virginia is going to be missed by many. One of her other a long time singing friends, Brother Harry Lee. Brother Harry Lee, heard him and Virginia sang. They did the singing, that old fashioned singing. Matter of fact, some of you ought to know that I got them on my YouTube channel where I made a video of them in my studio years ago. And Brother Harry Lee and Virginia was singing, and I called it the old fashioned American heritage singing. And so we just wanted to announce that, and we say, matter of fact, as brother Arthur Butler, and me and brother Arthur Butler, we formed that group, in which I named the group the Cross of Calvary. Matter of fact, Virginia was a member. The original members of that group we had was me and brother Butler started the group. I named the group, and Sister Virginia was one of the original members. Sonia Porter was an original member, as well as Sister Lola Brooks was an original member of the Cross of Calvary. And then we had a few more members. Sheila Porter came on after a while, her and her son, and they became part of the group right before I had to end it up myself, distancing the group my own self. But nevertheless, we were the original members of Cross Calvary. So we just saying unto the family, to the Virginia family, and all the ones that have been left behind, that we just saying we are here for y'all. Call on us when you need us. I want to go now and do this synopsis of the walk through the Word, of the yearly walk through the Word. It's right at the end of February. I'm already at 2 Kings. I just finished 2 Kings tonight. And I'm just going to briefly go through it from Genesis up to the point of time right now. Not to dwell a whole lot on everything, because that would take too long. But I just wanted everybody to know we started in Genesis where everything was created very well, perfect. Everything was created, and it was good and very good. God created everything for man. Man didn't have anything to worry about. But here come the devil. Here come the devil. Devil messed it up. Man disobeyed. Got us kicked out of our home. Got us kicked out of Garden of Eden. Now things were going to really get tough. God told Satan that he was going to put enmity between his seed and the woman's seed. And I want everybody to notice that. Woman don't have seed. So that ought to give you an idea of what God was going to do. It was going to be miraculously what he did, because of the woman's seed, what he was speaking of, his son coming into this world. And immediately, right then, it started the process of getting Jesus into this world. So we came on through to the time of Noah. Satan yet trying to destroy and contaminate the seed, which he almost did a good job of it. God decided he would destroy the world because of the giants and the violence. Everything was, the world was full of violence, almost to the point where it is now. And God said, okay, I had enough. I'm going to destroy man. But Noah found grace. God spared Noah and his family, 8 people out of all the folks that was on the earth. God spared it, gave the world another chance. Showed it by the rainbow sign, saying it would not be destroyed never again by a flood. Never again would he would destroy it. And every time a cloud would be upon the face of the earth, he would always show the rainbow as a sign of the covenant he made between him, Noah, and the earth. Never again. Well, we keep going down. Now we see the people, they got themselves together in the land of Shinar. They were going to stay right there. It was always God intended for man to make this whole world a paradise. They were never supposed to stay in one place. But nevertheless, Nimrod and the people of the land of Shinar, they were going to stay together because all of them spoke the same language. There was no diversities of languages in that time. Everybody spoke the same language. Well, God saw what man was up to, and God said, okay, let us go down and confine their languages. Let us go down now, because they together and ain't nothing they decide that they want to do, they won't be able to do it. And God knew that. That's a good hint. If we could get together, y'all, we could get a lot of things done. But why? We can't do nothing because we can't get nobody to get together. Well, God came down and confused the languages, and everybody got together and they dispersed upon the land. Well, now we see that God called a man out of the land of Chaldees, Ur of the Chaldees, by the name of Abram. Told Abram to leave his father's house and his family, go to a land that he would show them. God getting ready to build and to make supernaturally the nation of Israel, in which the Messiah, Jesus himself, would come. Well, he did that. Brought Abram to a land, sojourned in the land of Canaan, which is now modern day Israel. He told Abraham that this was going to be the land forever. This was going to be the Israelite land forever. But he also told them that the struggle that they were going to have in order to get that land. He told them that they were going to be strangers in a strange land, and they were going to be ill-treated 400 years. That was the exile in Egypt. Well, we know that happened. Then God sent Moses to deliver them out of that bondage and kept them 40 years in the wilderness trying to get them to act right. And then that's where God gave Moses the law, what they call the Torah. First 5 books of Moses, from Genesis all the way through Deuteronomy, those are the law, the book of the law. That's what the children of Israel went by. Went on through that. They went through that season. Joshua led them on to the promised land. God dispersed all the land through each one of the tribes, divided it equally among them as their tribe size were. Well, the children of Israel forgot God, as usual, and we came to a land of the judges. That's where God sent judges from Gideon and Samson and Deborah, all those, and for about the length of about maybe 400 and some odd years, they went through judges, and God would send them judges, and they would repent, and then they would go right back and do the same thing against serving idols and doing everything to upset God. In other words, they were pissing God off what they was doing. That's what they were doing, and then God would let their enemies come and take them. Then they would cry out, and then God bring them another judge and deliver them from their enemies. Well, it went on through the book of Judges, then we came all the way on up to 1st, 2nd Samuel. Started dealing with the king, King Saul, King David. Most of what those 2 books of Samuel was about, which we know Samuel was the son of Hannah. Hannah couldn't have kids. She prayed that God would give her a kid and said, Lord, if you will give me a son, I will give him back to you. So Hannah had the son and gave him back to God. Samuel always was at the temple. He started right there with the high priest, whose name was Eli. And y'all know Eli. Eli had 2 bad sons. He having sexual relations with the women the women right there at the temple. They were wicked. And then they called themselves going to go out to war and thinking that they could live in a kind of way and take the Ark of the Covenant with them and think that was going to help them defeat their enemies. But you know what? When you don't live right, you ain't got no covering. And I'm just going to leave that right there. Well, at any rate, the Ark of the Covenant got stole, and Hophni and Phinehas, both of them were killed in battle. And when the news got back to Eli, Eli fell from the temple thing backward. And he was a heavy, fat man, and he broke his neck. So you see, there's always tragedy when you don't do it God's way. And so we see where Samuel went and he anointed Saul as the king, first king of Israel. And then after that, Saul got beside himself. And then God sent Samuel on a journey to Jesse's house. And that's where he anointed King David. And he anointed David as the king. And David was about 17 years old. But as we know, it was some 13 years later before he actually was able to become the king. Because he was constantly running for his life because Saul was trying to kill him. That's just like our enemies. They always trying to kill us in one way or another. But nevertheless, 1st and 2nd Samuel dealt with those two dynasties, Samuel and David. Now we come to the book of the Kings, where I was just finishing up. We see where God was dealing with all the different kings according to their families in the line of David, in the line of Solomon. And then we see how one generation was worse and worse. And you would think that they would get better after God would send all this stuff upon them, but they just got worse and worse. This king reigned for 21 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. This king did evil in the sight. You just see all the king doing evil. God knew this. That's how come he never wanted Israel to have a king. But he told Samuel to give him one. That's what they want. Give them what they want. God told them. Said they didn't reject you. They rejected me. And so we now come to where at the end of 2 Kings, we finna go into Chronicles now. But the reason why I stopped and broke it up right here is to let you know this is now where they have already been put in exile into the land of Babylon. Because God told them, especially after Manasseh, that was a wicked king too. And after all the mess he done, that was one of the reasons why they were being judged. So, and now Judah have been taken to Babylon. That's what the end of 2 Kings, it stops right there with that. Now, you haven't heard anything about Jeremiah yet, because like I said, that's the way the Bible is written. The order of the books is not really in the way things will actually happen, because we also know that Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, the high priest, was the prophet that kept telling them that they was going to go to Babylon. And we know that, but we're going to read about those a little bit later on down the line. So that's where we are at right now with the walk through the Word, the yearly walk through the Word. We are down now where we just finished 2 Kings, and now we're finna go into the Chronicles. And once we go into the Chronicles, we're going to go on into the book of Esther. We're going to go on into Jeremiah. We're going to go to the book of Job. We're going to read about certain key figures of the Bible that's going to lead us all the way up to Malachi, the end of the Old Testament. And they're going to lead us right into the New Testament, into the birth of the Messiah. The birth of the Messiah. Jesus himself finally gets to the earth from Genesis. So that's where we are headed. This is Mitty Man saying whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, best you come out of it. Because it's going to come to nothing. Till the next time, next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first. Peace, good night.